morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are at. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's SoulSaint here, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's some new information coming out that I found to be very intriguing. We've been kind of tinkering with the idea that this December, coming up towards the end of the year, they said they had a big announcement planned for us, and that we're going to see it come to fruition pretty soon, and we've been left to speculate for a long period of time. Well, they finally kind of give us a little bit of a teaser, I believe, and we're going to go ahead and watch it today. It's a 20-second long snippet that they posted inside the Discord, the official raid Discord, where you can kind of see like news and announcements and whatnot from them. So I actually was like, okay, cool, we got something coming up. Let's see what it is. So with that being said, let's kind of get into it and let's enjoy whatever that's going to bring to us, all right? Let's see. I see Demon Lord. I see Hydra. Is that finally the Great Void? Oh my god, that sounds nasty. No shot, that's it. Is that it? No way. Okay, so they kind of alluded to like the I'm just gonna take this at like a face value type deal. So there may be levels that's gonna be coming up with this where we may end up having to work towards progression, I guess, in a sense, where you're gonna have to like go down stages of this area. I also gotta say, like, this particular video shows like this deformity, or I don't even know if you want to call it, like these vines, these red vines with like what looks to be like either eggs or some kind of bubbles that are right there on the side of some of these vines. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know if you guys are big into like some shows and whatnot, but on Netflix they have a show called Stranger Things, and it gives me that vibe a little bit like we're in the upside down world or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool. The way it sounded too, in terms of like the monster, whatever is down there, seems to be pretty menacing. So I actually find that to be very, 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 very unique. And the irony behind this is that they're going to be doing it as a part of the clan boss. And one thing that kind of gets me very interested, or very how do I say this? Like I'm enthusiastic about, is that like Demon Lord and Hydra are kind of, you do individual things, and then your culmination of your efforts are kind of calculated as a group, and that's about the extent of where clan bosses are kind of contributed to from a player experience standpoint. I hope that like with player introducing things like RTA, which is like real-time arena, maybe they could do some formats where we have like one or two clannies that you can go in with and you guys can perform some stuff at the same time. That would be really, really cool, you know, where we can kind of group up with some clannies and like maybe 4 of us would go in as a team and we'd battle the boss, and each one of us would have to put our own like effort in our own one standalone champion. I mean, some kind of interaction where we're actually working together to kind of beat the boss. That'd be really, really cool. I know some people may not like that too as well, because like RTA situations and stuff like that. But I mean, you could at least choose the team that you go in with. You don't have to go in with the same people. I wonder what kind of rewards would come from it. I think that they're either going to introduce a new set, or they're going to expand upon some pre-existing sets. Like maybe, you know, Hydra has been like a weekly reward. Demon Lord has been a daily reward. Maybe the Great Void is either both of those, none of those. It could be like a monthly reward, but they got some kind of drop that's going to be very substantial, right? So like a new gear set, maybe a new champion locked behind it, because like with Hydra, we ended up getting fragments for, I want to say, Mithrala a while back. Maybe they got a new champion. Maybe it's a mythical. I'm not entirely sure. There's not really much information going on there, and I'm left to the same devices that you guys are with when it comes to like any notifications about it. You know, they announced a lot of other stuff along with that, but the long and short of it is that the Great Void is on the way. Finally, we've been curious about this locked mode here for like a good bit. It was very similar to how they had the tower, which was the Iron Twins fortress, for so long. It was there, but it was never mentioned. It was like basically like under a veil of mystery, and now we're starting to see some of the world crack open with this. So I'm very, very excited. What do you guys think? How do you think they're going to handle the Great Void? Do you think we're going to be dealing with something very similar to what we've experienced in Demon Lord or Hydra? Are you guys expecting to see something unique, maybe in a real-time strategy? I know I would personally. Let me know in the comments below. I'm actually very, very curious. Also, what kind of stuff do you think we're going to get for rewards? I mean, to be honest with you, I'm hoping for either a new champion, maybe even a mythical, perhaps. Maybe something around the lines of a new system to incorporate to make your champions even stronger. I do have some concerns about power creep becoming a thing with that. Or maybe they could find a way to revitalize some things. You know what would be really cool? And I was thinking about this in the back of my head. And just for the speculation sense of this video, one thing that they could do with Great Void could be a way to introduce some kind of system, maybe not so much for characters, but for gear. One thing that we've been open and exposed to is that like variable sets have become a lot more powerful. Like we have Stone Skin, we have Supersonic, we have Merciless, we have Protection, all these different sets that give us a lot of value from having 1 to all the way up to 9. I wonder if there's a way that they could introduce some kind of system in place where the previous sets, the outdated sets, the more older sets, the veteran sets, I guess you could say, legacy sets, depending on how you want to look at it, maybe they get some revitalization. So like instead of it just being speed, maybe that coupled with something else could give you like a variation of a new item, or a resource to allow you to start being able to introduce accessories for these set bonuses, which will add even more complements to build diversity and whatnot. So these set bonuses that have been kind of a little bit under the radar for a while, maybe now is the time to introduce them back into the game, where it's worth farming those dungeons, but it's also worth farming that new resource so you can combine these pieces together to bring something new to the table, right? That could be a really great way to not only benefit previously existing pieces, but to also benefit a new system that's going to be in play and that's more worthwhile to go for, right? I don't know, something like that could be really, really cool. I think it could also be very dangerous depending on how it's implemented. So obviously, scrutiny is very, very important, and player feedback is very important too as well. So if you guys like the idea, you can champion behind it. If you don't, well, it's okay too as well, you know? I do think that with some of these recent updates, I really hope that Plarium takes their time and they really get this mode down pack. You know, let's make sure it's something that's enjoyable, and I think that should be the number one focus for this particular mode. Forget everything else that's been going on around the game. Make this particular mode, whatever this is, whatever this mechanical fight is going to be, make it enjoyable for all players. One, for people who are progressing, give us different maybe difficulties similar to like how Hydra and Demon Lord are, but also make it something that, like, you know what, we want to get involved with it. We want to do it because it's enjoyable. Hydra before had its moments where it's like, yeah, people found enjoyment, especially when you start progressing, you start making some new strides on your account. But then the recent changes that they made that have kind of made it a little bit more apprehensive, a little bit less enjoyable depending on your perspective. Some players, you know, they kind of feel like, well, it's not a fun content piece anymore. Let's give the community a W by making this mode very, very good. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by voicing your opinions, maybe to content creators like us, so we could pass it on to, you know, the developers that are listening to us. So, with that being said, I want you guys to use this moment as an opportunity to kind of think, to express some things you would really like to see come from the Great Void, and some things you would like to not see as well. That'd be a great opportunity for us as a community to be able to communicate with Plarium and let them know the things that we're looking for, you know? With that being said, as always, your speculation is welcome, and we're excited to see what's going to be coming new from a new mode. I'm excited to get into something new myself. Anyways, with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as always remember, stay ascended.
Critic got the